Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Friends, today in this video I am going to show you that how you can make this beautiful responsive job finding portal website by just using simple HTML, CSS and Bootstrap. By building this website you will learn most of HTML, CSS and Bootstrap. So if you are a beginner or intermediate in web designing, then you must have to watch this complete video. So before start building this website, let me just overview this complete website. So first of all, here is our navbar. On the left side here we have our logo, job finder, and in the center here we have our nav links, home, services and about, and on the right side here we have two buttons, register and login. These are the two buttons with the hover effect, and after that here we have our main section. On the left side here we have this big heading, and after that here we have one input section and the button, and on the right side here we have our main image, and after this section here we have our category section. You can see this category section having an icons, and whenever we hover on these cards it creates the box shadow effect. In the last here we have one big button, and after this section here we have this section, one background image and the linear gradient background color having one big heading, and after that here we have one button with the hover effect, and after this section here we have another section. First of all, this heading and the paragraph and the button, and on the right side here we have one image, and after this section here is our another section having a very beautiful background image, and these are the three cards having an icon inside these circles. And after this section here we have our bootstrap carousel, our slider. You can get this slider from the Get Bootstrap website. First of all, here we have one image inside the circle, after that the author name, and after that here we have our detailed paragraph, and in the end here we have one contact button with the hover effect, and in the last here we have our footer section. These are the fourth section, and here is our links. Whenever we hover on these links it moves from left to right, and it's changed its color as well. So here is our newsletter. You have to put your email, and this is our icon, and in the last here we have our copyright section. You can design this website very easily, and this website is completely responsive. You can see this website in your mobile, in your tablet or any type of touch screen. So let me show you the responsiveness of this website. So here you can see this hamburger icon. Whenever we click on this, it shows us our navbar. So this website, you can see this website is completely responsive. Every section of this website and every image is very responsive and looking very beautiful on every type of touch screen. So this is our website. So okay guys, let's get started. So okay guys, before starting with the Bootstrap, we have to copy the started template from the Get Bootstrap website. Here you have to click on the document. From the document you have to copy this started template and paste it in your HTML file. Now just remove this unwanted content and links from this file. And this is our CSS file. First of all, I am getting one universal tag with the padding of 0 and margin is also 0, and the box sizing is border box. Now just me link this CSS file in our HTML file. So first of all, we are going to design this navbar. For that you have to come on the components in this Get Bootstrap website and click on the navbar. From navbar you can copy any type of navbar and use it in your HTML file in your website. So just paste this navbar here in our file. So here you can see we just paste this navbar, and if you refresh you can see the output. This is our navbar. This is looking very simple, and now we are going to customize this navbar. So for that we are going to remove some unwanted classes that we are not using. added this logo, the Navbar brand. You can add any type of logo in this Navbar brand in this logo section. Adding the margin auto, we can get this Navbar links in the center. And now just remove these unwanted properties from these links. And we also don't want this drop down menu, so we are removing this drop down properties and classes from this link. So now if we see the output, so here you can see this output. And we also don't want this input section with the search bar and the button. We want two buttons in this form, the btn 0, this button with the class of btn 0. So we will design this btn 0 in our CSS. Just copy this button and paste it once more with the btn 1. And now if you see the output, so here you can see these two buttons. So first of all, I am going to design this Navbar brand, this logo with the class of Navbar brand. Now we are going to design our nav links. So now if you see the output, so here you can see this nav links, and now I am adding the hover effect on this nav links. Whenever we hover on these nav links, the color of the nav link will be red, and the time in which the color is changed is 0.3 seconds. And now I am going to design and add some properties to the nav item. First of all, the color, and then the font weight is 500, and the padding between these nav items is 35 pixels. And now if you see the output, so here you can see this nav links that we design. And now I am going to design this btn 0. First of all, the height is 52 pixels and the width is 130 pixels, and the outline for this button is none, and the border for this button is also none, and the color of the text for this button is white. And whenever we cursor on this button, it's create the pointer effect, and the transition will be 0.4 seconds. And now we are going to add some background color for this button, this RGB background color. So here you can see the output, you can see this btn 0 that we designed. And now we are going to add some hover effect on this btn 0. Whenever we hover on this button, it changes its background color, and the time in which it's changed its background color is 0.4 seconds. So here you can see this btn 1, btn 0 that we designed in our CSS. This is looking very beautiful. And now I am going to design the btn 1, the button with the class of btn 1. So first of all, the height for this button is 52 pixels, and the width is 130 pixels. The background of this button is transparent. and the outline for this button is none, and the border is 2 pixels solid red color. So this is our button that we designed. You can see the output, and now after that we are going to add some hover effect on this BTN one on this button. Whenever we hover on this button, it changes background color, and the transition in which the background is changed of this button, and the transition is 0.4 seconds, the time in which the background color of this button is changed, and the color of this button is white. And whenever we cursor on this button, it's create an pointer effect, and the border for this button is none, and the outline is also none for this button. So here you can see the output. Whenever we hover on these buttons, it's create an hover effect. We will design this logo. We will add some font family Google fonts for this logo in the end. So this is our navbar section. And after this navbar, we are going to design our main section. First of all, I am taking one section. With the class of main, and inside this section I am taking one container class, and inside this container class I am taking one row class, and inside this row I am taking 7 columns, and inside these 7 columns I am getting our heading, our h1. So just copy this h1, this heading, and paste it inside this h1 tag. And after that I am going to add this search bar, this input type. First of all, I am taking input type. The type will be text, and adding the placeholder, job title or a keyword. And after this input, I am taking one button with the class of btn1 find a job. So first of all, I am going to design our main section. So for the main section, I am adding the background image, the background URL, and the image path with no repetition. And the background size is cover, and the minimum height for this section is 95 VH, and the width is 100%. So here you can see the output, and now I am going to add some padding top and bottom to this container and this section. So after that you can see this output, and after this I am going to design our h1, the h1 tag, the heading. For that, the class of main, the heading 1, the font size of this heading 1 is 5 rem, and the font weight is 800, and we are using this color, the RGB color, for this heading for the h1 tag. And now if you see the output, so you can see this output, this heading is looking very beautiful. And now I am going to design the input, the search bar of this main section. First of all, the height is 71 pixel and the width is 70%. And the border is none, the outline is also none. And now let me just add some padding for top left. For the top, left, bottom and right is 15 pixel. And now if you see the output, you can see this output, And now I am going to design our button with the class of btn2. First of all, the height is 70 pixel and the width is 25%. And the background color, the same RGB color. We are using the same RGB color for this button that we used in our previous buttons. And the color of the text will be white. And the border is none. The outline is also none. And whenever we cursor on this button, it's create the pointer effect. And we also have to add the transition. The transition is 0.4 second. And now you can see this output. You can see that in the search bar and the button, the btn2. Now let me just add this margin between this button and the search bar, because we want this button and the search bar together. So we are going to add some margin left is -4 pixel. And now we are going to add the hover effect on this btn2. Whenever we hover on this button, it will change its background color. And we also have to transition. We have to add the transition inside the btn and inside the hover class, because we want the smooth hover effect on this button. So we must have to add the transition in the both in the hover and in also the simple one. So now you can see the output, you can see the hover effect. And now I am going to add the Google font, the font family for this logo, for this Navbar brand. You just have to write Google fonts in the Google. From this Google Fonts website, you can select any type of font family that you like. You can use any type of font family. You can embed any type of font family that you like in this website. So you can use any type of font family for your heading, for your paragraph, for your complete body. So here I'm using this one. You just have to copy this link and paste it inside the head tag, inside the HTML file, inside the head tag. Just copy this link and paste it inside the head. And now you have to copy this CSS and paste it inside the Navbar brand class, because we want to use this just for our logo. So here you can see this logo, the job finder logo. You can add any type of logo right here. You can add any font family to this job finder logo. Now after this main section, we are going to design our category section. After the main section, I am going to design this section, this category section. First of all, I am going to take one section with the class of cata and another div with the class of container. And inside this container, I am taking one more div with the class of row. And I am taking this container as a container fluid. First of all, I am taking this paragraph and the heading. Inside this container fluid class, I am taking this p tag with the class of red. And now I am going to add this heading one. Just copy this heading one and paste it after this paragraph. First of all, I am going to add some properties to the class red. The color will be red. And now I am going to center this all text, all the content inside this container fluid by using text center class. And after that, I am going to add some properties to the heading, to the h1. First of all, font size is 3.4 rem and the color is RGB. I am using this RGB color, this blue color. And now if you see the output, so you can see this output. And after this we are going to design these sections with icons, all these categories. I'm also taking padding top and bottom inside this row class, and inside this row I am taking 11 columns, and inside this 11 columns I am taking one more row. For all these icons, inside this row I am taking 3 columns, one card, and inside this card I am taking one card body, and inside this card I am using this image, this icon as an image. You can use the PNG icon or the JPG images. Right here I am using these images as an icon. And whenever you are using an image in the Bootstrap, you must have to add the image fluid class inside the image tag. And after that just copy this design and creative content and paste it after this image tag. Now if you refresh, you can see the output. Here is our output. We have to add some margin top and bottom to this image, this icon, and some padding top and bottom to this card, and padding top and bottom 5 to this row. And now you can see the output. We want this h6 in the red color, so I am adding the red class. Once you design the simple one, you can copy this column 3 and paste it 4 times in a single row. And we want this all content inside the 11 columns in the center, so that's why I'm adding margin auto to this class, and some padding top and bot 3. So now if you see the output, you can see this is all in the center. This is our first row. You can use different types of images, different types of icons. And now I am copying this complete row because we want the second row. That's why I am copying this first row and paste it once more after this row. So now we will get the desired output if we see the output, but we have some more margin between these 2 rows. We have to remove some padding top and bottom from this row. And now if you see the output, you can see this output. Right here we just use one image. Now I am going to change these images. I'm going to use all the images, the different images, the different icons for every section, for every column, and for every row. And now you can see the output. You can see this is our output with the different icons, with the different images. And now I am going to add some hover effect to this card. To every card, whenever we hover on the card, it's changed the color of the paragraph inside these cards. Whenever we hover on this card, it's changed its color from black to red, and the cursor will be pointer. Whenever we cursor on that card, it's create an pointer effect. Now you can see the output. Whenever we hover on these cards, it's changed the color of the paragraph. here we also use the box shadow. Whenever we hover on that card, it's generate the box shadow. For the box shadow, you can use any online box shadow generator. You just have to search in the Google the box shadow generator. You can use any online box shadow generator. You can set all these box shadow options, the width and length and the radius and option of separate radius. You can set any type of box shadow inside this online box shadow generator and use it in your website. Now I'm just copying this box shadow and pasting inside this hover class. So now you can see whenever we are hovering on these cards, it's generating the box shadow effect on all of these cards. And after this row, I am taking one more row, one more div with the class of row, and inside this row I am taking 5 columns. Inside these 5 columns I am taking one button with the class of btn3. I am taking this class btn3 because we want to design this btn3 in our CSS. I'm adding some padding top and bottom 5, and this button is in the center, is not in the center. We want this button in the center, so I am adding margin auto to this columns class. By using margin auto, you can center any type of content inside this column class. And now I am going to design this btn3 inside our CSS. First of all, I am taking the height is 770 pixel and the width is 70%. And the border is 1 pixel solid RGB color, 130, 130 and 131. This is our RGB color that we are using for this button. And the background for this button will be transparent without any color. You can see the output of this button. And the border radius for this button is 5 pixel, and the transition will be all 0.4 second. And the color of the text will be the above border color. And now I'm going to add the hover effect on this btn3. Whenever we hover on this button, it changes background color and the text color in the specific time by using the transition property 0.4 second. Whenever we hover on this button, the background will be changed and the color of the text will also be changed, and the border will be none and the outline will also be none, and the transition will be all 0.4 second. And now if we refresh the output, you can see this output, this button, very beautiful hover effect on this button. So this is our category section. We design it very beautifully, our main section. And now after this section, we are going to design this section with the background image. After this section, I am separating this all section by using comments. For this section, first of all, I am taking one section with the class of resume, and inside this section I am taking one more div with the class of container, and inside this container I am taking one row class. This is our grid system in the Bootstrap. We are following the grid system of Bootstrap, and inside this row I am taking one class of 10 column for the large screen, and inside this class I am taking this paragraph feature tools packages, and after this paragraph I am taking this large heading inside the h1 tag. Just copy this heading and paste it inside this h1 tag. Now I'm going to add some padding top and bottom to this section, and the text will be centered by using the text center class, and all the text in this section will be white by using text white class. And I'm going to add some padding top and bottom to this container and this row class. And now I'm going to I'm going to add the background image inside this CSS, the resume class, the background URL. This is our path for the image, the background image with no repetition, and the background size for this image is cover. And now I'm going to add some height and width for this image. The height will be 90 VH and the width will be 100%. So now you can see this output. Now let me add this margin auto class because we want all this content in the center. Now you can see this is our output, but this is not looking beautiful because we have to add some linear gradient effect to this background image. But before that, I am going to design our h1 tag inside this section. For the h1, the font size will be 3.8 rem. Now you can see the output. This is our heading, the big heading with the white color. And now I am going to add this blue background color, this linear gradient effect to this background image. First of all, I am using this linear gradient and the RGBA with the red, green and blue. You can see the output. This is our background image. This is our section with the linear gradient effect. So this is our output. Let me just add some padding top and bottom to this paragraph. And after this row having content, and after this row I am going to add one more row for the button, and inside this row I am taking 5 columns, and inside this 5 columns I am taking one class of btn3. I am taking this btn3 class because we already designed this btn3 class in our CSS. Now just me add some margin auto class because we want to center this button. You can see this hover effect and this all the complete section.